Welcome to Thought Leaders, featuring interviews with some of the best minds in the industry. Today's special guest is certified financial planner and registered investment advisor, Rob Odell. Hello everyone, I'm Steve Savant, syndicated financial columnist and talk show host. In this segment, we're talking about ERISA retirement planning for clients and prospects for end-of-the-year planning, all from Rob's popular Mind Map seminar series. Well, when we're talking about end of the year and we're talking about ERISA planning, I mean, there's a lot out here. I mean, your mind map, it looks like, oh my gosh, there's so many options. I don't know if I can handle it.
Yeah, we have a lot of ground to cover in this segment here on the retirement plans. So let's begin. There's two types of retirement plans. You have the employer-provided and self-provided retirement plan. And in the employer-provided, you have all sorts of ERISA plans that are available from a 401k, which is most companies have, which is also known as a defined contribution plan. Then you have the charitable organizations that provide the kissing cousin to the 401k, which is the 403b or the 457s if you're a municipality. You have profit sharings and you have Roth options as well. So there's a lot of moving parts in this segment, as you said. So let's talk first about the 401k. Currently, the maximum contribution an employee can put into it is $18,000. Now,
is that going to be true for 2016 as well, or?
It'll be indexed up. I think slightly higher. Don't hold me on that one. If they're over the age 50, they can put an extra $5,000 catch-up on that.
On top of that?
On top of it.
Wow.
And if they have profits they want to put in there, they can go up to $53,000 in 2015. Wow. So they can put a lot of money pre-tax. So if there's a small business owner and maybe it's a husband and wife, maybe it's a husband and wife and
they're over 50?
They're over, they can really do some serious catch-up there.
Wow.
Now, very similar to the 403bs, except that they can't catch up if you're over 50 as quickly as a 401k. So it's only $3,000 is the maximum catch-up for them. Then you have IRAs, individual retirement account. I think they became popular in the early 80s, I want to say is when they were rolled out. Two types here. You have the deductible, tax deductible for people who don't make quite as much income, and then you have the non-deductible. Where this is, as we talked about in the very first show of this series, this is above the line deduction here, where they can put money into it, receive an income tax deduction, and it can grow pre-tax. And there's limitations how much they can put in there, whether they're covered under an employer plan or they're not. Now, the non-deductible, which many of my clients, because they have high income.
Well, let me stop you just before you go there, though. On your deductible, non-working spouses could actually put money away in an IRA, right? And now this is a little nuance of the last 10 years in legislation.
Right.
So I just want to point it out just because sometimes we forget about the non-working spouse.
Right, exactly. But you know what I would, that non-working spouse, I would encourage them to go to a Roth IRA or to a non-deductible IRA.
Even if they're in a high tax bracket?
Even if they're high tax bracket. Because what I see in the planning world is people, because they want the deduction now, they max out their 401ks, they might do a defined benefit plan, and they're doing, if they're having the wife do a deductible IRA, all of a sudden they get to retirement and they have all this retirement savings with very little non-qualified. And as a tax planner, it makes our job more difficult.
So you like diversification.
Diversify what they have.
You want some tax deduction. You want, so like in the Roth's case, it's not deductible, but it accumulates tax deferred.
Correct.
And it comes out free.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, so for people who are high income earners, we try to get them to do non-deductible IRAs and start loading up on that. Because what happens is if they do not receive an income tax deduction time of contribution, but they do have an after-tax portion in there that's filed on Form 8606, we can potentially get them to convert to Roth at some point in time. So I have a number of high income individuals where they're doing a non-deductible IRA. Anybody can do it. Bill and Melinda Gates, they can do it. And then convert it to a Roth IRA and be able to basically have Roth IRAs start growing. So it's one little piece of the retirement plan that we put together.
Now, do we amortize some of these conversions to try to smooth into I don't want to bump into another bracket here.
Right. Oh, yeah, absolutely. So last thing we want is a surprise in April. And so when we sit and work with clients and we start doing Roth conversions, maybe we're trying to fill up the 25 or the 28% bracket. Usually it's 25 because in the 28%, the marriage penalty begins to kick in. So really, it depends on the client, but what we like to do is do intense tax planning with them so that no one has a surprise.
So I might have to stage this in just to keep under that 25% tax bracket.
Right. Okay. This is something I love, Roth IRAs. This was signed into law in 1998. It was after the late Senator Roth, who since has passed away. But basically, this is an IRA that's funded with after-tax money, and it grows tax-free. Not tax-deferred, but tax-free, provided you play by their rules. And then in the last decade, they allowed people to convert their current Roth, traditional IRAs to Roth, regardless of income limitations. And so this is something that let's say we have a net operating loss, or we have a low year of income. we'll have clients start converting their traditional IRAs to Roth, just to fill up some of the tax ceiling.
Because a lot of people say, look, if I'm already in this tax bracket, I might as well just pay the tax up to the top, whatever that cap is, and might as well, we call it bracket bumping in our terminology. And so we want to just make sure if we're going to pay it, let's pay it up. We're already in that bracket. We've done everything to get it down. That's where we're at.
Right, exactly. A couple of the benefits of the Roth, as I see as benefits, is when you get to age 70 and a half, and I have a number of clients, as many of the advisors who are viewing probably do, who do not need their IRA money or their 401k money after 70 and a half, because at 70 and a half, that is the required minimum distributions begin to kick in. Roth IRAs are not subject to those rules. So you could defer tax-free the Roth IRA's earnings for the owners or their spouse for their lifetime. And this is the ultimate asset to be able to give to the next generation, because it goes tax-free to them, and then they get to take it out. They have to take required distributions over their lifetime.
So this is a pretty huge issue here.
This is a huge.
And especially generational giving here. That's a huge transfer.
It is.
Well, for more information on ERISA retirement planning for clients and prospects for end-of-the-year tax planning, just click on the landing page address in the video description. We'll be right back with more from Rob O'Dell.
A solid web presence has never been more important to the success of your business. Introducing Agent Website Creator, provided by CreativeOne. Through Agent Website Creator, you can create your own personalized website and have it up and running easily with zero knowledge of programming. Choose from several designs with easy drag and drop customization. Get proven lead generation offers, professionally written articles, and helpful financial calculators. Plus, the ability to embed videos, integrate your social media, and more. Update your website anytime and show the world within minutes. The best part? It's hosted for free. To learn more about Agent Website Creator, call your CreativeOne sales team at 800-992-2642 or visit us online at creativeone.com.
In this segment, we're talking about Social Security strategies for clients and prospects for end-of-the-year planning, all from Rob's popular Mind Map seminar series. I want to really think about Social Security. They just had huge changes. File and suspend, pretty much gone, unless you are going to be 66 by the end of April 30th, 2016. That's pretty much done. Restrictive application, okay, that's still okay if you're 62 or older before December 31, 2015.
Yeah, they did that very quietly too.
Yeah, they did at night, and there's a lot of. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to editorialize, but yes, I have an article out there. If you haven't seen it already, it's very punitive. All right, let's talk about Social Security, because this is America's #1 retirement plan, and so how to play and maximize these benefits are a big deal.
Without a doubt, and often for most middle Americans, this is probably their biggest financial decision they're going to make: how they take their benefits, when they take their benefits. And how they plan their income taxes around when they're receiving their benefits. And so just a couple basic things is taxability on the Social Security benefit. For those making less than 25%, none of it is taxable. Between 25 and 34, 50% is taxable. Above 34,000 for a single person, 85%. And it's higher for married couples, 32 for incomes under 32,000 is not taxable. And between 32 and 44 is taxable. 50% is taxable. Above 4,000, 85% is taxable. And so this is big. And often we get into various types of tax planning. We want to be very much aware of this as we're working with clients who may have modest income but sizable assets, and it does exist. Strategies to reduce Social Security. And there's a couple that we look at. A lot of times people will have municipal bonds because they want the tax-free income. But what people don't realize is that muni bond interest is added into the calculation for those income thresholds we just looked at a second ago. And so we often will look at it as the possibility of exchanging the muni bonds for a single premium immediate annuity and possibly having a life insurance to replace it to the next generation. Why?
I find this, I saw this client who had 400,000 plus in municipal bonds out of his 1.4 million portfolio. So this guy doesn't like taxes. Okay, let's just psychological profile. When I went to page 2, he was paying AMT on some of those municipal bonds, and all the municipal bond, as you said, flowed over to a Social Security provisional income test.
Correct.
I don't think many advisors, insurance professionals, and especially retail clients understand the impact of this.
Exactly. And many RIAs do not understand this because they know muni bonds, they're less familiar with insurance products. So a single premium immediate annuity will provide them potentially higher income, but the income taxes are superior than the income tax savings, superior than muni bonds, because majority of that income they get is tax-free return of principal, which gives them more, pays less tax on their Social Security.
So this is that could be an alternative to people who are trying to reduce their tax bill. They're buying municipal bonds for that. And I'm thinking the ratings of the carrier from a single premium immediate annuity could be superior to the municipality that you're buying your municipal bonds.
It could be, exactly. So, yeah. Another one, which is kind of like a ping pong ball, is the Charitable Ira Rollover. This allows people who are over 70.5 to give money directly from their IRA to the charity of their choice and reduce the required minimum distribution. Now, remember above the line and below the line, if they give from their IRA directly to charity, it is never picked up as adjusted gross income. So that's effectively an above the line deduction there. Now, the issue is, for the last few years, Congress, Washington, stalls into the fourth quarter to decide if they're going to bring this piece of legislation back into law. As of December 2nd, as we're filming right now, it's not in the law, but we think it is. So what advisors need to do is, if clients are going to give to charity, have them give directly from their IRA, get a checkbook from the IRA, and have them write the checks to charity and make sure the charity's cashed the check before the end of the year.
This is a huge issue, and again, keep in mind, this is not a done deal yet. So just be aware that you're going to have to look at this all the way to the end of the year.
Right. And the last thing is tax-deferred investments. If someone has CDs and they're making 2%, which is a lot in today's world, and they're not spending the money, they might look at a tax-deferred annuity or a single premium whole life, something that can produce equal income, but not pay tax on interest, not have the interest show up as taxable income in the year that it is earned.
Okay, so really in deferred investments, if we're not really using this income and we're paying taxes anyways, that's a good place to look.
Right.
So there's tactical issues of deductions, deferrals, things that can really alter your Social Security benefits, whether they're going to get taxed or not.
Correct. And the last thing I just put down here is that just came in last week, or maybe 2 weeks ago, the file and suspend strategy, which we did a lot of work in having. Maybe the husband had the higher income, so he would file, then say, no, I don't want it. At the same time, wife would say, I'll take 50% of his Social Security benefit. But that's no longer available for those who are going to be 66 after April 16th next year.
It could be a seminar for the first quarter. Anybody that's 66 and older and hasn't really touched on file and suspend, it could be a way to get people in the seats.
Absolutely.
But after that, pretty much, that thing's gone. And it made, by the way, Social Security planning a lot easier.
Oh yeah,
a whole lot easier.
Yeah. So that's gone.
And one last thing about it, just remember, there's survivor benefits that most people don't pick up on Social Security benefits that could be really huge, and they're pre-62 benefits for some scenarios. And also keep in mind, if you've been married 10 years and a day and you divorced, you might actually have access to your ex-spouse's, at least their spousal benefit for that. So there's a lot of things that are still on there that are really interesting to look at. And of course, we did a whole film on this about a week or so ago. You can catch us all up on Social Security. You do a lot of planning, and boy, you're doing planning around Social Security to free up more income from America's #1 retirement plan so that they actually have something to spend.
Exactly. After tax.
After tax. Well, for more information on Social Security strategies for clients and prospects for the end of the year planning, just click on the landing page address in the video description. And for more information on all our shows, seminars, and workshops, you can follow us out on social media or check us out on our website. I'm Steve Savant. We'll see you next time on Thought Leaders. And remember, keep thinking outside the box.